Jamaican fans getting annoyed by Craig Butler. Mr. Butler, your name not stop get called, man. Welcome on board to Premier 7. I am your host, Ryan Nelson. I hope that you all are taking the time out to relax if you can and are able to tune into this session as I will be speaking about one of the most popular names in Jamaica football in Mr. Craig Butler. And the topic is, are Jamaican fans getting annoyed by Craig Butler? We all know how Mr. Butler can be, and I am going to speak on the topic from an unbiased perspective with professionalism behind that, because on this platform I am not a promoter of ignorance or arrogance, and respect is respect. But where do you sit on the fence with Mr. Craig Butler? Because some persons would say he is a decent person who speak the truth and nothing but the truth, while some would say he's like that baby. Whenever he's annoyed, he just throw his toys from his prom. And I just want to speak about a few things in regards to an RGR news that was posted, then the Instagram post that he posted recently, and have a discussion on both. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, and if you are a follower, continue to watch, like, comment, share, and become engaged with the channel. And of course, if you like what is taking place on Premier 7, you can always send a donation to my PayPal account in the form of a big thank you. And lastly, you can follow me here on YouTube, thereafter on TikTok and Instagram for my other posts being done. So, let's get into the first portion of the video. I am going to take on board first the RGR news by Mr. Butler, and I have a recording of what was being said. So here we have it, and listen up to what Mr. Butler has said, as in Butler blast JFF again on the 25th of April.
JFF needs to become more professional in their approach and be more accountable and truthful. The fact of it is Leon was not suspended at the time when, he turned down the call up. He was frustrated, but not suspended because you immediately they had gone and asked him to play. So if you go and ask a player to play, then you've lifted the suspension. If he says, no, I'm not going to play because I already made plans and my mindset is not there right now, then you can't come back and say that, oh, the reason he's not playing is because he was suspended. So there are things that the JFF has fallen down on and they need to fix it. And I'm sure that in time, Leon will also come around. But, right now, Phoenix is very tight. We're very close. And, if Leon go left, everybody going left with him.
All right, so the thing is, we should understand that unity is strength. And with unity, I would say it requires for the right behavior or self conduct at all times. If somebody is wrong, then not because you're united with that person, you should accept their wrongs. Now, where do I sit on the fence with that statement by Mr. Craig Butler? Firstly, why is it now that the same continuation with Leon Bailey is trending in Jamaica. Isn't it a case of which Leon Bailey was underperforming for the national team? And the difference is that he performs well for Aston Villa, but not well for the national team. So, I am not here to become an advocate for Leon Bailey from Mr. Butler's perspective, but just here to say that why is it that Mr. Butler is still talking about JFF? Why is it that he continues to throw shades at JFF? The thing is, Mr. Butler, if you believe that you are right about what you're doing, then you don't have to be talking about JFF, 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 JFF. Because everyone knows that JFF isn't the best federation in football. And we want to see a difference as fans of the national team. But what we don't like is the case in which you are trying to protect Leon Bailey when it comes from the point of performances and defend him in a way that to me doesn't make much of a sense. I heard about the fact that Leon Bailey needs security as well. If Leon Bailey is going to get security as a national player, then everyone should receive security. Because even though it's a big name, yes, persons will want to be off him, like offer him more than the normal persons. But professionally, the entire team needs to be protected. I don't hate Mr. Butler, but sometimes while I listen to other persons speak about him and how he behaves when certain things isn't going his way, it is annoying. And talking about Leon Bailey that if the guy was performing well for the national team, Jamaican fans would be his biggest supporter. And everything to me boils down back to the interview. And when Leon Bailey spoke about the selection, the facility, the this and the that. But come on, Mr. Butler. I don't know what is taking place behind the scene really, but I know what is taking place to some extent. And I'm not here to defend or to speak against Mr. Butler, but just here to speak the right for Jamaica football. Now, with that being said, let me just share the Instagram post that was being posted from a few days ago. And of course, share my say on this again. Because I assume that some persons will already have an idea about this. So, in a nutshell, it was a case to which Leon Bailey received a standing ovation from Aston Villa fans. And Mr. Butler came out to say that, I mean, thank you, Aston Villa, for taking care of my boy. Right? And within the middle of the text, he somewhat threw shades again at the JFF. Right here, then again, he spoke about security, the value and security of players. So, yet, Jamaica Football Federation, please note, the club is wise enough and values its player enough to ensure security walks with him. We understand that security is always important for your players. And in life, everyone that does good things, I think that they need security. But if you're a good person and then you decide to do other things that doesn't please those who are even protecting you, then guess what? No one will care about you. Mr. Butler should not be comparing Leon Bailey, Aston Villa's environment to Jamaica football. And let me clear up that. What I mean is that they are on two different levels, regardless of the fact that Leon Bailey needs security. I tell you something, the England based fans are horrible. So you see, if Bailey wasn't performing for England in Aston Villa, then the fans will do some chants, they will throw him. And Mr. Butler knows that. Stop throwing shades at the JFF. I respect Mr. Butler, but sometimes I think he is too much. And this is a comment that a fan of football um said. He said Bailey never play good for JA. Yet, so we have to reward him for what is below average performance. Sir, get a hold of yourself. Because it is true. It is absolutely true. Why should we protect a player? Then again, protection is always key. But why should we be valuing a player high above everyone else when he's not performing well? Things like these, it is bias. It is not called for. He's playing horrible, horrendous when he plays for Jamaica because of the pressure that he takes on himself and that the club, the national team, I should say, puts on him, like indirectly. But come on, Mr. Butler. Stop throwing shades at the JFF. I don't like what is taking place, but I'm seeing what is going forward. The national team is not performing bad thus far. Keep the positive energy going forward. And this is the other post that stood out to me when I looked on the Instagram comments on Mr. Butler's Instagram post. So this gentleman mentioned that no, you will get annoying no. I mean, there are sentiments that I share, but Jesus Christ, man, the more you chat, brother, the less me want think about you. And it is so damn sad I used to idolize you. What happened to staying humble and allowing the organic process to flow? Stop being damn obsessed, right? I hate the JFF as much as everyone else, and there was a point I was hoping you would take over, but sorry, you are exactly like them or worse at this point. How many times you are gonna say and do the same thing? Easy, man. Easy, Mr. Butler. Easy yourself, man. You are annoying to the Jamaican fans because of how you're behaving. And on other platforms, they would say if you not get things your way, then they start react. Remember the issue or the conversation about Kyle Dixon and Dujan Whisper? Why are you bringing that into the national program? Remember, the team requires the best players to represent. And if those persons who are above the players are behaving like they are, let me not say ghetto, let me not even say dunce, but behaving unprofessional, then it will make things worse. So I am hoping that this video can get out there to acknowledge the fact that Jamaicans want the best for the national team, but the question remains, are Jamaican fans getting annoyed by Craig Butler? And I think many are. And Mr. Butler, I want to leave one thing with you because you mentioned that you're a follower of Christ. Remember what Luke 14, verse 11 says in the King James Bible. It says, for whosoever exalted himself shall be abased, and he that humbleth himself shall be exalted. That is the Bible verse for you because you are doing something that is affecting the Jamaican fans.